And welcome back again to Zanpakuto Creation Series. This one comes to us again from Sorako Kurishiki. I'm probably butchering it. I apologize. What's the question? We've now done the one above all, so we have to do the one below all. The literal embodiment of evil in the Marvel Universe, basically. He is Marvel's Satan, pretty much. He is the polar opposite to the one above all. He is basically a primordial being of the most base instincts of ceaseless hunger and hatred and evil, and he can warp reality and all that. However, he's not really, he's sentient as far as we know, but he's really not. He's not like the one above all. So in a hypothetical where this individual has a Zanpakuto, what does a Zanpakuto look like? Well, again, this is one of those individuals where he's probably too far beyond a Zanpakuto. Like, there's no Zanpakuto that he can do just about anything a Zanpakuto would enable him to do. So because of reality warping. But let's at least try to figure out, based on what this thing is, something. And I figured out basically a pretty simple but good one. It would be a Keto type Zanpakuto, first and foremost. It would be in the form of a standard katana, as most are. Its release would be Devour All. And its name would be He Who Feeds. Its Bankai's name would be Denial of Food to He Who Feeds. Now, He Who Feeds translated, roughly speaking, into Yashinu, I think it's like Yashinu Mono, and then the Bankai would be Yashinu Mono no Sokukin Yuno Kuchi. I'm probably butchering that. But point being is that in terms of what the Zanpakuto does, it is pretty much, it kind of has any ability you really want in the sense of kind of reality warping. However, the level of what it's capable of doing is all dependent on the amount of energy it's getting. And this Zanpakuto does not feed on spiritual pressure. It does not feed on reishi or anything like that. It feeds on negativity between hatred, evil, malice, anger, anything like that. It's feeding on those negative emotions in the world. And the more that it feeds on, the more powerful the effects of the Zanpakuto come. From energy blast to, again, reality warping, you name it, the Zanpakuto in theory could do it. Does that sound overpowered in terms of what it just generally does? Absolutely, but this is an overpowered character. But again, it's all contingent on what the Zanpakuto does. And the Bankai, I think, would just be an extension of that, where it's feeding on things not just in the general vicinity, but in on a universal level. This is one of those characters where designing a Zanpakuto really doesn't work. So I just I did the best I could. And it's really just amplifying all of his abilities already into the Zanpakuto, which I normally don't do, but if it makes sense, I'll do it. Now, I will say, though, this Zanpakuto would come with a catch. If you are not in the vicinity, at least we're using the Shikai, of any negative emotion outside of your own, well, the Zanpakuto actually isn't going to be super powerful. It'll still have reality warping capabilities, but it'll be on a very minor scale because you just don't have any negativity to feed off of. If you're going up against someone like in Bleach, say like a Yamamoto, well, that would actually, especially in the 1,000-Year Blood work, well, now you can feed off his anger and his hate and all that. But if you're going up against, say, a Kenpachi, there actually isn't a lot in there to. Weirdly enough, Kenpachi doesn't have malice or anger or even evil. He actually has a lot of fun and joy and all that. He's actually kind of like a big kid in many ways. Now he can get angry, sure, but in a general fight, this Zanpakuto would not fare well against Kenpachi at all, because Kenpachi doesn't radiate any of those types of emotions usually. He represents danger, but that doesn't necessarily translate in this sense, because even someone who's very kind and positive could represent danger, or give off danger theoretically. But danger in and of itself, I guess technically is something you can feed off of, but for instance, Aizen, despite his calm exterior, the Zanpakuto could still sense his hatred of the Soul Society, the Soul King, all of that, his hatred of Urahara. It could still sense that and feed off that. So, yeah, it is a catch-22 against very positive individuals who don't really harbor any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would not work. And I think that'd be the fundamental weakness of the Zanpakuto. That is, though, just my opinion, and that's all I really have for this Zanpakuto, sadly. Let me know in the comments below if you would do anything different for this character. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.